Welcome in to the SummerTree Sports Podcast. I'm Elijah along with Braden and Hayden. We are back week number 2 in a row. I'm so proud of us for getting back to it, boys.
2 weeks in a row.
Let's go. How y'all feeling?
I'm feeling great, man.
Good week?
Yeah.
Did you beat the Beatus yet or no?
No, still fighting that.
Okay.
All the time.
Well, I'll keep asking.
Yeah.
Once again, not really much sports news. The NFL schedule released last week. Something I thought was kind of interesting. I was listening to the Pat McAfee show, and evidently players care nothing about the schedule release from what Pat McAfee was saying, and AJ Hawk was on the show too. And Pat was saying something along the lines of that he would look and see if they were playing in a horrible condition place, like a Lambeau or Buffalo towards the end of the season, because he said, that's horrible to punt in.
Just what we're doing.
Yeah, fun.
But yeah.
Ooh, it is.
Anyways, and so AJ Hawk was kind of saying the same thing. Like, I look at our bye week is basically what he was saying. So, I mean, this is for the fans. And I just kind of thought it was funny that NFL Network did 3 hours
of coverage
of the schedule
to talk about who has a prime game and who doesn't.
And they had really coaches on too, but
I don't get the hype around it, to be honest with you.
The schedule release?
Yeah.
It's just because there's nothing else going on.
I mean, I understand that this year, but even past years, the schedule's coming out. I'm like,
I'm excited to see it.
We're basically playing the same people minus,
and we know who we're playing before
it's true.
The schedule even comes out.
I don't know. I think especially with NFL football, college, it's you know who you're playing pretty much every year. 'Cause
they know
conference.
a couple years in advance.
Yeah. But at that level, it's they're all pros.
They're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. It's not I got a cupcake week 2. You know what I mean?
You might have a team that you're favored against, but they're all good.
They're all NFL.
Yeah, but
and if you don't show up week to week, you're gonna get beat.
But in some cases, if you're playing for whatever reason that you're playing the Chiefs and the Ravens, you don't want those back to back to stack. And I guess that's the only thing that would really be.
What's the algorithm when it comes to scheduling so that it doesn't?
Well, it's going to change next year, and so every 3 you alternate every 3 years. You play this year
we play an AFC division.
This year we play. Let me see.
We play the AFC North and the NFC North.
NFC North and the AFC North, yep. And then, yes. And then we play, you play whoever was in your place in
the other AFC
division.
divisions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then, so every 3 years you get a new AFC team that you haven't played in 3 years, and then every 4 years you get a new one, and so it alternates, and so it's good.
I'm just wondering if they really look
never
at that where they're ooh, this team
I think when they're scheduling it week to week, I think they definitely do. I don't think it's any coincidence that the Patriots and the Bucks don't play at the same time.
But they said it was, Elijah.
Oh yeah,
the powers that be said it was.
Roger Goodell has said a lot of things.
That's a good point.
Okay, also about Roger Goodell, did y'all see that? We can talk about the schedule after this. That they're doing the COVID-19 benefit fundraiser thing, and they put out an auction, like a silent auction type thing, and you got to bid on watching a Monday Night Football game with Roger Goodell in his basement. And you know who won the bid for it? Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports.
Jesus Christ.
And he's the one that did the Roger Goodell clown face shirts.
Of
course he did.
Of that guy, honestly.
Oh, me too.
I don't like him either.
But also, that's I can't stand Roger Goodell either.
So I kind of blame that because I was trying to get schedule stuff all in the head, but
he bid $150,000.
Was it basically any fans at all could? I'm they should have pushed that dude out because he's a.
But also in my brain too, I'm well, it did raise $150,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting two people that we don't really care for in the same room. It's not like they're gonna record.
I mean, I guess are they gonna put it on TV somewhere?
Probably not. They should. Probably not.
It would make for good TV.
I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if Portnoy
records it,
streams the whole thing on his phone or something.
Just real like sitting there real hard.
Okay, well, let's talk about the schedule. I'm gonna hit a few highlights, and then we're actually gonna go ahead and predict the Titans' record for the next year. Hint: I don't have them going 9-7. So first of all, Titans open up Monday Night Football versus the Broncos.
You mean versus Jarrell Casey? That's all I care about.
And the Broncos to open up the season. That's the second Monday night game. You know, they always do the 2 Monday night games. I kind of think that they should always do 2 Monday night games. Have a middle of the country East Coast game first.
What time does that first game start?
6 maybe, and then the second one's at like 9:30
Central. Oh, I couldn't do it.
I think. I mean, like, I'm definitely gonna have to take a nap before the Titans game that day. Don't get me wrong, but I think it would. I don't know. I think people love the Monday night games. All people are talking about right now is like the prime time.
Yo, I love going to the night games.
Me too.
I love it.
The energy is like, this is how football is meant to be played.
Watching ESPN Monday night coverage is like nails on a chalkboard.
What? Booger McFarland's out of the booth.
It's true. And who did they say they got in?
No one yet.
No one yet? Okay.
They haven't announced it yet.
I know they did some changes.
I think it's going to be, what I heard is going to be internal. The 2 guys that I've heard name floated out is Louis Riddick and Dan Orlovsky, which I think both of those guys are really good. Way better than Booger.
Yeah.
So Titans open up Monday Night Football. I think that's good. Get that one out of the way. We just like don't play well in Denver, I feel like. And so get that one out of the way. They have a bye week, week 7. And then the next week they go to Cincinnati, play number 1 pick Joe Burrow.
Cool.
Which is more of a headline. Then they play the Colts Thursday Night Football on the 12th. And then they have a week where they don't play the Colts. I can't remember. Ravens.
Yeah, Ravens.
And then they go back again to the Colts. So they did that last year too, where they played the Texans 2 times in 3 weeks. So they do the same thing this year.
Mm-hmm.
They get the Colts Thursday Night Football at home.
No Jags Thursday night.
Yes, praise
That's like the first time
good
for like,
Lord.
Like 3 or 4 years, I feel like.
It's almost become a meme at this point.
Actually, I think 2 years ago they didn't have it.
No, 2 years ago is when he went off for 99. When Henry went off for 99 yards.
2 or 3 years ago they didn't have it.
And last year was when the Jags beat us on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And then the year before was Derrick Henry when he went off.
Yep. And so it must have been the year before, because I remember,
and then
they had done it,
rush.
and then they skipped a year, and then they did it again. I have to look it up.
They play the Ravens, like we just said, the 22nd. Circling that game.
Easy.
That is
easy dub.
I mean, will Earl Thomas be on the field because he's our inside man, right?
Hey, I don't know.
Oh, we should talk.
We're gonna talk about Earl Thomas. We're gonna talk about it. I promise. I'm so excited. They play at the Ravens, which I think is somewhat significant. They play at the Packers. Sunday Night Football on the 27th. That's that post Christmas game.
That's a cold game.
And I think that is actually going to be, that one's going to be freezing. But I think I'm most excited. Y'all can tell me what you feel. I'm most excited about Packers on Sunday Night Football because Jordan Love could be their quarterback.
Yeah, you think Jordan? I was about to say, you think Jordan Love's starting by then?
Probably not, unless someone gets injured. But I don't think so.
Someone being
unless Aaron Rodgers gets injured, unless the entire offensive line gets injured, and they're like,
all right, Jordan Love, your turn, buddy.
I'm circling the game I'm most excited for is probably one that I would be going to, which would be a home game.
Probably Colts Thursday night, huh?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
That's a huge game.
I love Thursday night games.
Huge.
Going to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge.
I'm also kind of interested in the Bills.
That game was so crappy
because it's been that bad for the past 3 years.
But also, like, Tannehill wasn't our quarterback, so
yeah.
I was in a suite that game, and I was so excited about it.
Okay,
wasn't
and
that?
then
sweet?
I was like,
I actually was watching that game on the beach.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I don't remember where I was.
You're probably there.
You were there.
Probably.
I was texting you.
I was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Rough.
Better than Nick Williams' game, huh? Man, that one was tough. Braden, which game you most excited for on the Titans schedule?
Honestly, after this whole entire coronavirus deal, we haven't had sports in forever. It's literally that first game,
Preseason game.
That Denver game. I'm so hyped.
This is kind of interesting. This preseason game. Sorry,
the Bucks.
Because
it's preseason.
Because that's the dress up game.
Yeah, but it's still preseason.
Right, but we get the first test of that.
I say we just move. I say we just.
I mean, there's a chance that preseason doesn't happen.
Move the season up a week.
There's a good chance.
Move it up or move it back.
Like
depends on what your definition of up and back
is.
Do you want more preseason or less preseason?
Less preseason and just move week one to the first preseason date.
I disagree only because I like that first weekend of college football.
Yeah, well, see, I'm just selfish right now.
Yeah.
I'm just selfish because right now I'm like, there's no...
Yeah.
And I don't know. I saw something earlier. It was like, Dr. Fauci says that if a certain percentage, blah, blah, blah.
Just everybody get it. Listen, everybody get it. Like me. We'll all be immune. We'll ignore any article that says that you're not immune. And we just continue on. If not, sign me. I'll play football.
You know that kind
everybody watches me.
I would actually pay to see you.
$10 to get out there.
You know that kind of reminds me of on Zombieland when Bill Murray dresses up as a zombie because he can.
That's a good point,
dude. It's foolproof.
Well, so Von Miller, he also had it and recovered, so it'd be like me and Von Miller out there playing football.
You can score a touchdown.
Yeah, come on.
No one is. I mean, I understand why no one's talking about it, but every athlete that I've seen has gotten coronavirus tweets like 10 days later, and they're like,
"Yeah,
fully recovered, feel good."
Yeah,
which I know not everyone recovers from it.
What's another bet that you keep saying if you give yourself like a year you could do?
Ronda Rousey. I could beat Ronda Rousey in a fight. I was literally thinking about that today. I could if someone paid for all of my just living, I think I could beat Ronda Rousey if I had 1 year to train.
Hard no.
See, she won't even do it. She won't even do it.
She won't even respond to me on social media.
No, because it's a lose-lose situation for her.
That is true.
If she loses,
she lost. Beat up a kid with diabetes.
Yeah.
One hand, lose to a kid with diabetes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Good point.
A couple
Thanks for calling me
other
a kid. Appreciate it.
A couple other
26
notes about the schedule. The first Friday night game in NFL history is going to be played. It's going to be the Vikings and Saints on Christmas Day.
I'm going to be too busy watching high school football on my TV 30.
They won't play on Christmas Day.
Is that a joke?
And that high school football is done way before that.
It was a joke.
What's your record, y'all?
But hold on.
All right. I'm so excited.
I know. I want to talk about this Christmas Day game.
All right. Okay.
Because I think it's interesting because historically NBA has owned Christmas Day games, right?
They have.
Yeah, that's all that's on.
News to me.
I know, but if you even turned on your TV, it's like
I'm watching Christmas Story.
Yeah, dude,
that's what I'm watching.
Okay,
yeah.
Anyways, NBA has always had games on Christmas Day, and I think there's actually a good possibility that when the NBA has their season next year, they could open up around Christmas Day. So I think it's the NFL being like, all right, y'all have had Christmas Day long enough.
Mine.
It's our turn because the ratings are so good because people open up their presents and they're like, okay, what do we do? Either go to the movies, play video games, or watch NBA basketball.
Yeah.
Or Christmas Story.
Okay, or Christmas Story. For some reason, Christmas movies, I can't get into them. On Christmas Day.
Seen the Christmas Story, though?
Yeah. I can't watch Christmas movies after I've celebrated Christmas.
Over under how many times have you watched that in your life?
15.
Over 30. Well, we leave it on the entire day.
Yeah.
So it depends.
And then you fall into a nap and then you wake up and you're like, oh wow, same point.
Yeah.
When I fell asleep.
I'm seriously saying I probably watched it over 150 times in my life.
Oh my God.
I'm not, because it's the same thing. It's just on loop the entire time.
Yeah.
It is really funny.
And you probably watch it just once during Christmas because you're in and
just
out
hit parts.
and you get bits, but you see the whole thing.
So I think that game is going to be actually really interesting. No conflicting Bucks and Pats games. We talked about that.
That would have been awesome, though. Why didn't the NFL do that? Just because,
you saying them playing each other?
Yeah.
Well, they can't just be like, okay, y'all are playing each other.
Though, because every other league does that. Like every other league, I feel like.
Well, next year.
No, but every other league has an algorithm just the same.
Yeah, but
the
you're
NBA
telling me
you play.
You're telling me though that it always is coincidence that like the two people that played like, especially like
They
baseball,
definitely
like a big series in baseball,
No,
like it's like
they.
opening day, baby.
Yeah, no, they
like,
definitely schedule it, but if teams aren't going to play each other, they
should
can't just be
anyways.
like, "No, y'all are
Could you
playing."
think
They
of
will.
the
Well, they might
value-
yet next year because that's when they go to 17 games. They just keep the same thing. They just added
Can
one.
you think of the value?
Oh, they
I feel
added
like-
game that's-
random.
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I like
honestly,
that.
like to be honest, I know it's the Patriots, and it's like all this big glam over the Patriots, but like, how good are they gonna be without? They don't have any. They
Well,
have
we don't
nothing.
know.
like I was listening.
Nobody
Who's their
knows.
Jared Stidham is their
Yeah.
quarterback?
I was listening to a podcast today about it, and
the record.
I guess like after the draft, or maybe it was when Tom announced he was leaving. Like Stephon Gilmore, the McCourty twins, all came out and were like, "No, like Jared Stidham's pretty good," but like reports came out last year that he was like taking like defensive reps on the scout team.
Cool.
Yeah,
And-
that's what I was thinking.
Maybe
I
he's
heard.
that good.
He's that good.
He
because
was
he's
good in
like,
college. I really liked watching him in college.
No, I
but
mean, like he's that athletic.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
he can play safety and
Yeah.
quarterback. He's gonna play both ways.
Yeah.
two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
Another interesting thing: the Texans' first 4 weeks. This is who they play: at the Chiefs versus the Ravens at home, obviously. At the Steelers and against the Vikings.
I feel like they're gonna have a rough go.
That's a tough first 4 games. Like
I think I
all of those
underestimate-
teams, I mean, minus the Steelers, who were in the playoff hunt with no one at quarterback. All those teams were.
Good old Bob set him up for some really early season success with this awesome offseason.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien probably called the NFL. Was like, "Hey, give me the hardest 4 games possible. I'll give you a 4th round pick." Actually, Bill, that's not. No, just take my 4th round pick.
You want Deshaun?
Okay.
You can have him. I don't.
So let's go through the Titans schedule, and we're gonna go ahead and predict. Which a lot of things are gonna change, obviously.
Wait, are we doing game by game win loss? Because I don't think I have a game by game win loss, but I think I have an overall. Because I don't.
You want to go game by? Let's go game by game.
All right. Here we go.
See,
Can you pull it up on your monitor so
Yeah,
Brayden
I'll
can
pull that
see
up.
it?
see?
Okay, so you don't have to think too hard about it, Brayden. I know you overthink.
The thing is, I don't know.
It's just
man.
gut reactions.
I have but I have a number in my mind, and I don't know if I can. I don't
Why don't you tell us your number?
telepath 11-5.
Okay.
I think we get to 11-5.
Actually,
I had
that's
a number.
what I have us at 11-5 as well.
I said 12-4.
I think that
Wow! Oh my gosh!
It's one game from you. It's one
No,
game
I'm not
difference.
saying. I'm just
So-
saying that we're all in agreement.
Oh, okay, I
that
see,
it's
yeah.
that's a
think
good
that-
record.
So I think that first week or that first like 4 games we go 2-2, and then I feel like we kind of hit a hot streak in that
Okay, that's
middle.
okay. So let's go. Broncos.
Win.
That's what I have. Jags.
Win.
Vikings.
Loss.
Potential
Same.
loss. So I'm gonna put up a finger for every loss. So that way.
Why do you say potential loss?
Well,
They're all potential.
yeah,
wins
I
or
know,
losses.
but
they're
I
all
don't know.
potential losses.
I don't like to think of it that way. I like to think of it as a potential.
So when you say potential loss, you mean loss?
yeah.
Okay.
No, because that means I'm predicting a loss. I'm saying we're gonna win, but we could maybe lose. There's a fan in
50-50
me,
shot.
Elijah. Come on.
Okay. Steelers.
Potential loss.
Loss.
I've got a loss.
But I gotta win.
That's 2-2. That's 2-2.
All right, I'll do this.
Bills.
Win.
Win.
3-2.
Texans.
Win.
Win.
4-2.
Win. Bengals.
Win.
Win.
5-2.
Win. Okay, stop saying that record after it.
I got the losses up here.
Bears.
Win.
I've got to win.
Yeah.
Especially if they roll out old Troops.
Win.
They'll roll out Trubisky.
Win.
Good old troops are. I like the
Okay.
too. So
Versus the Colts on Thursday Night Football.
Win.
Win.
That's home.
I've got a loss on that one.
Okay.
shame on
At
you.
the Ravens.
Loss.
Loss.
Same.
Potential loss.
At the Colts.
Loss. Sorry.
That was my loss.
Okay, I've got a
So
win
our
on
away
that one.
loss.
So our Colts are my Colts are
I
flip
just had
flop
that
from
because
y'all.
we're away that game.
So that was 4, kind of an agreement.
Browns
Win.
win. At the Jags
Win.
Win.
same.
Jags.
Lions
Win.
Packers.
Loss 'cause
Potential
it's gonna be a
loss?
snow game. I guarantee. It's gonna be a snow
I've got
game.
to win. I surprisingly have the last game as a loss. Here's why. I don't think Ryan Tannehill or Derrick Henry are playing in that game.
So we can go.
I think old Cole McDonald's playing in that
12-4.
game.
as
11-5?
a group. We're saying 11-5. Hayden says 12-4.
But you see our
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
So
I
11
just-
and 5
I'm a little-
is
what I said was floor 9 and 7. Yeah.
ceiling is
Ceiling
the floor.
14 and 2. What I think 12 and 4.
Yeah.
14 and 2.
Yeah, I mean we can beat any of these teams,
Wow.
and it wouldn't be a huge
Ceiling?
shock.
I've got 16 and 0.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's just, but we're gonna drop fudge and try not to curse in this game. I've been doing Novice Heroes. I'll check myself.
Can you
Keep
bleep?
this for
Can you edit
kids.
bleeps?
I can. Now I gotta go edit this. Dang it. Anyways, so
Okay.
like we're gonna lose to the Bengals
We're gonna do something.
or
Titans.
the-
Like,
the
We're due. We're
Browns.
due against the Browns.
yeah,
Titans.
it's something
It's just gonna
dumb's
be a
gonna
Titan.
happen like that, which is why.
And this is the NFL. Like theoretically,
Yeah.
there's a chance you can lose to any of those teams
Any given Sunday, Thursday, Friday, potentially Saturday
or Monday.
Monday night.
We're pretty
all
much
of them now.
Tuesday. Go ahead and throw Tuesday and Wednesday.
I should have
games
sent
in.
it to y'all after you just cursed on air that we've got to bleep out now. I saw a thing on Reddit the other day, and it was a video from The Office, and instead of them saying fired, they bleeped it out. So it sounded like the F word, and it was like, oh, you're so beep. And it's like, oh, wow. Like, part of me was like, wait, which word did
See
they
that.
actually say?
Yeah.
It was, y'all should check it out. Next thing we've got to talk about, we could spend maybe like 2 hours talking about this,
16 no. All right, but we're not.
is Earl Thomas.
I just have the one thing.
This
I just have
is-
the one
hold
thing
on,
I saw
hold on,
today. Yeah, I'm
gonna go- no,
I'm
listen.
guarantee y'all didn't see this.
Okay, well, I'm going to go through the story and you can give us our new
Maybe you did,
revelations.
though. Maybe you did though.
Okay, well, then we'll talk
I'm
about
so
it.
excited.
I know. I'm so excited that you found something that we might not know. So, if you didn't catch this, I'm going to try to keep it like PG-13 rated. Earl Thomas
He
and
banged
his
his brother.
wife.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Earl Thomas and his wife have a disagreement.
Uh-huh.
They get sad, whatever. Earl Thomas then meets up with his brother.
With his brother.
Then
By blood.
yeah. Then Earl Thomas's wife hops on his Snapchat. Why she has his Snapchat info, I don't know.
Hey, let's just throw this out. Allegedly.
Allegedly has his
Yeah.
Snapchat. So he gets on. She gets
Because
on
of
the
the
Snapchat.
implications.
I don't have a Snapchat, so I don't know how it works. But I guess like you can, if you're friends with other people, you can see if they're all together.
Yeah, you can turn your location on.
There's like a maps thing.
Okay, so that's what
I saw
happened.
you the other day on Snapchat.
Yeah.
So Earl Thomas, she turns on Earl's
Location.
Yeah. He sees all these females that are rolling around,
Nice.
literally.
Yeah.
So she says,
snap.
she calls up her girls and she says, hey sis, Earl's with some girls. Earl's with some girls. Let's go. She shows up
Bring your 22.
with a gun. Did she have a 22?
You know I keep
Oh,
that
I was like-
thing on me.
Okay, so she shows up with a gun, and bust in. Allegedly, Earl is having an orgy
Yeah.
Oh my god.
with these girls
Party
with his brother.
with his brother.
I'm just like, I have a lot of questions.
People who swing that way, like, I don't
Just
know
cannot
anything
believe.
about it, but I'm assuming like they're just. What's the difference between some random dude and your brother? Like,
There's a lot of
we can't even talk. This is like a family podcast in some ways. Like,
yeah, and I can't
find it
understand
anymore,
it,
guys.
but it makes it much more despicable that his brother was in the bed with him, right?
yeah. Maybe they were asleep. Maybe they were done.
So someone said, I bet they were just praying. Makes sense.
People don't have premarital
But
sex. do
I
they?
I have a lot of questions. So then that's not even so Earl's wife busts in there with a gun. She pulls the magazine out, but no
Ooh.
one knows that. So cops get called, cops show up, and she's like, no big deal. I didn't even have a magazine. But there was one in the
one
chamber.
in the chamber. Don't forget
still a
about the one in
big
the
deal.
chamber.
And like part of me is like, okay, this is a crazy story. And then the other part of me is like, Like, it's a good thing Earl Thomas isn't dead.
He was how many pounds of pressure? Like 1 pound of pressure, whatever it is, to
take
pull a trigger.
Yeah. I'm just
like 5.
I can't remember.
But like, this is a crazy story.
Yeah.
And it's getting talked about. But also Earl Thomas comes on Instagram Live and was like, hey guys, just so y'all know, like, some stuff's about to come out and my PR team told me to get ahead of it, but like, just keep me in your prayers. You know, like, stuff happens. Like, yeah, stuff does happen in life, but like, that doesn't just happen. Like, maybe you don't just roll into bed with your brother and have an orgy. That just doesn't happen.
Maybe you accidentally hit somebody with your car. Maybe you like accidentally like, I don't know,
tweet something inappropriate,
you know,
or
like,
have sex with your brother. I mean, whoa, hey.
I don't accidentally take off my clothes and
oops, I accidentally got into bed with my brother and I was naked.
You guys just aren't open-minded. And that's all I have to say about that.
Is it?
Oh, okay. That's all I should say about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys? What were you excited to tell us about?
It was nothing crazy. Like, it's only a fact.
I want to know.
It was
so
literally
excited.
a meme. It was a meme that it said and I can't remember where I saw it. I was trying to pull it up because it was somebody like with a blue check mark that tweeted it, and they were like, I'm not sure if this is true or not.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Where he was like, no, I wasn't afraid of my wife pointing that gun at me. I've been stiff armed by Derrick Henry. Like, I was like, what in the world, man?
That was not. I saw that on Twitter. That was not factually correct. Earl Thomas didn't actually say that. Great meme, nonetheless.
Oh, great meme.
Yeah, allegedly.
All right.
None of all this could have been fake, for all we know.
Do you want to go ahead and talk about college football video games?
Oh, he seems so real sad about it.
I know. I am sad.
Like you guys know, I literally I don't know, all three of us are big video game people. Like we've always have been, I think. Hayden doesn't have like another channel dedicated.
Check out Novice Heroes
to playing games or anything.
We play plush
but like,
this week.
Oh Lord, let's not get people turned on to that.
That's a good
but
point.
anyways, I know me and you like love sports games. That's pretty much all we play. I know Hayden plays. Like,
I'm trash at any other game, so yeah, that's about all I play.
Hayden loves to enjoy Madden.
And then I also love to hate it.
Yeah.
So does Brayden. Do we not remember Brayden throwing that controller?
Oh,
I've gone through many controllers because of Madden.
Oh man.
Specifically because of Madden.
Like, I literally sat down like this week on MLB The Show and like literally modded the entire game to be NCAA baseball. I miss it.
Yeah, I wish that they could get this whole like paying the players for their likeness ordeal.
See, the whole thing to me, I feel like it's like an easy thing now. They're past all the people who had those like lawsuits or whatever have been paid.
Yeah, they made like $1,000 a piece. Was it worth it?
They made zero next to nothing a piece. They like could they
got a stimulus check.
Yeah, pretty much. But like the thing is,
some people have all the luck.
What's stopping the companies now from just being like, hey, here's like the licenses of the schools with generic players?
Yeah, you just name them Lever Torrance.
Yeah,
and you're good.
As long as like the like game developers aren't putting like the real
really they should have been doing that a long
there.
time ago. At this point, we're so close that like players are actually going to get paid from it.
You know what made me think about it though, and that's why I like texted you about it. I saw today, I think 2K, I guess, is going into the golf world now, in video games.
Well, my thing is, I think there is a ton of money to be made with any college sports games, whether it be football, basketball. Heck, I even remember playing MVP college baseball back in the day.
Yeah.
But my thing is, someone has the capability to make a ton of money. But then the other part of me also knows that these video game companies are at such a cash grab now. You think about so many sports video games that were good that have been ruined now. Madden is trash. 2K, horrible.
It's nothing but like pay to play game modes, card pulling game modes.
Yeah, they love that. Ultimate Team.
Yeah, the only sports game that I like and don't have issues with it is MLB The Show.
Yep.
It's the only game. And
such a good game.
Because you can play it and play certain modes and you don't have to pay to play. But it's getting to a point in like Madden that their gameplay is getting so horrible because they're focusing on Madden Ultimate Team or NBA 2K My Team.
See, the thing is with like, especially with EA, is like each thing like NCAA and then Madden had their complete separate like production team. Even
and
like
you could
NCAA
tell when you
14, NCAA 14, I still believe is better than like Madden 20.
Oh, there's not a doubt in my mind.
Absolutely better than Madden.
There's
20.
a reason that people still play NCAA 14. If you took a poll, see how many people play Madden 14.
Yeah. Go back to your like point of like there's a market and people like a profitable market.
How much would you pay for NCAA
this
football?
This is what I was going to say. I saw a tweet this week that said they were talking to somebody or themselves. I think bought a copy of NCAA 14 for like $170 just to play it.
You can't find one cheaper. I can't find one cheaper than $60 for a used one.
And the thing is also, like I was gonna say, on the PC community, there's literally
they would mod that. Yeah,
there's an actual community that like has a YouTube channel, has like all this different stuff that actually went through, spent money and resources, and how like actually got crowdfunded a little bit to be able to basically put out an NCAA or football game using the Madden like template.
Yeah, I'm at this
and
point.
Even the players now, like the college players now, are like, I would freaking love to play. You know,
and it could have been so easy. Like you could, like we were saying, you could have just made it generic, 12 teams, Eastern Pennsylvania University,
and made it customizable.
Yeah, and then
I think that's the way I was thinking to myself. How MLB The Show did this whole thing this year, where they have like the franchise, and you can literally replace each team.
Yeah,
like all 30 teams with a customizable team. I was like, man, I feel like they kind of did that on purpose, and they didn't put any like the MLB logos on any like generic uniforms or anything like that. And I was like, man, I feel like they honestly kind of did that on purpose to be able to
well, they know their community. They understand that their community wants to be able to like create something, and not that like I'm not going to go into like playing video games is artistic, any of that, but like in a way they're like, well, if someone's going to spend $60, then we need to make this game what people want. And that's what a lot of gamers want, is the ability to customize these video games to play something that they grew up playing. Me and my brother didn't care anything about Madden when growing up. We played NCAA football all the time, and it's frustrating because it seems like they're getting things figured out to pay NCAA players for their likeness, you know, with jerseys and with they can get endorsement deals and stuff like this. But I'm afraid that EA or somebody's going to pick it up and the game's going to be trash. That's what I fear.
That's why I want. Well, in a way, I would say like 2K, because 2K made, you know, NFL 2K5 arguably the greatest like video football game ever. But like now
just don't trust EA Sports or 2K to make.
Now I feel like 2K is just kind of the same as
just cash grab.
You know about like video game productions and stuff like that. Like, what do you think is holding like the companies back?
I mean, right now,
because they're making so much money, they don't care.
And right now, some of it is the legality. They can't pay the players until I think it's like the 2021 season. So right now, it is the legality. But yeah, keep saying what you're saying.
Well, it's the gamers' fault. It's people are buying it. They don't care. They'll buy these Ultimate Team packages and almost pay to win at some point. That you know how much money they make off of FIFA Ultimate Team? I can't tell you the number, but it's a lot. Most of it, all around the world. And so, what's the point in creating a college NCAA football game when you have to pay players and you're not? It's all about.
They're like, well, if we've got to pay players, then that's going to take away from our bottom line.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it's at this point they're like, well, we're making these games that are making money. Why would we go out and create this new product? And
the only way I can see it happening with it would almost have to be EA because of the relationship with Madden. Either the NFL will have to give the license to someone else.
Well, NFL, I think that ends after maybe next year or something.
Yeah, I think within the next year or two.
Yeah,
they talked about have like the NFL.
That's what they
making a
need.
game.
Is they need
Competition.
They need competition. They need 2K to make a football game. They need another sport, Sony or whoever.
Yeah. The problem is nobody wants to play an NFL game that's not the NFL.
Yeah.
You play it because you want to play as Pat Mahomes, as OBJ, as these players.
See, growing up, I wanted to create my own guy and play at Texas A&M or Tennessee or Vanderbilt.
That's still what I do on sports games.
Yep.
Like on MLB The Show, I go straight to Road to the Show and create my guy and player lock, and
that's the appeal for NCAA for me. Was I loved that you could create your dude from high school and progress him all the way,
and you can
port him into Madden, and you
can change the uniforms in high school to make them like your high schools. You can even change your opponents to play who like your school would have actually played. NCAA 14 in my mind is probably the best football game ever. They just got it. Like I do remember, I want to say it was NCAA 06 or 07 that you could play all your college years, and then you could actually import your player into Madden, and that was sweet. They could figure that out. Then I think it becomes much more marketable. But yeah, I agree. Like people want to play as a Pat Mahomes, but when does it come to a point where people want to play as a Trevor Lawrence or a Tua Tagovailoa or a Joe Burrow? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I think, and that's part of the licensing thing.
Yeah.
I think it'll work itself out one day. I really do.
Please.
I think that Madden is going to become subscription based. Where you don't buy the game, you buy
kind of like
Madden every year for $60.
So the gameplay might update every couple years, but then you get roster updates and patches and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing.
I think that's what they should do anyways.
Well, it's good because it's consistent. Everybody's on the same thing, but it's bad because you can't do any major upgrades. But at this point, do you even I'm talking graphically and physics based?
How much better can you get?
Right.
And Madden can, but 2K,
I think honestly a lot better. See, to me though,
no, graphic wise, I think Madden can as far as like players' faces and stuff. It's obvious that Madden does not care a lick about player likeness.
Well, see,
but NBA 2K has the best player likeness of any video game I've ever seen.
But like the actual gameplay itself,
I'm not talking about the gameplay. I'm talking about the graphics.
So I played like NBA. I was one of the few people that actually like really liked NBA Live when it had the 18 or 19 or whatever it was.
That a lot.
And side by side, it made like 2K as far as like the players. They looked like the players. NBA Live looked more real. Like if I was walking past a TV and I was like just kind of glance at it, be like, oh, that's a game. 2K, I'm kind of like, oh, that's kind of like.
I think NBA Live mastered the scene. Like I think their lighting was better and it felt more like an NBA arena. But as far as graphics, I think 2K had them. But I think NBA Live, as far as like when you look at the screen, it's like, oh wow, that actually looks how Staples Center looks. You know what I mean?
I don't know. It's funny to me because I see stuff all the time. Like I'll be on YouTube or whatever, and I'll see like a teaser video for like, oh, new update on NCAA 21.
There's not one.
There's not. It's the same thing. It's the same legality of over and over and over again. And I think you're right. I think maybe next year when we get towards kind of like,
I think
here's a little bit of money for the players, and I feel like it'll be like, oh, that opens up an avenue for the gaming companies to be like, hey, this might be a little bit easier legality.
Yeah.
Also,
wise. I don't think they were gonna do anything until PlayStation 5 came out. I think they were like, why are we gonna make a new? I don't think they're like, oh, as soon as that comes out, we're making a new sports game. But I do think that they're like, well, why are we about to like rush and try and make this college sports game for a console that not as many people are gonna have coming Christmas?
6 months.
Next thing, little fun topic. Hayden, you sent this to us. We're gonna talk about what your favorite non-major sport is. So minus hockey, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, right?
Yeah.
Is that it?
And I guess maybe also not NASCAR. I didn't think in any way.
Is NASCAR a sport?
I think so. You've got to be. I mean, if you're talking like in terms of,
it's impressive
physicality that you like. It's
I
it's,
didn't
it's
think so.
physically more impressive than golf.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Think so.
I don't know that
Yeah.
I categorize golf and bowling as a sport.
Yeah.
I didn't think so, but like, no, I don't know. I think I paid a little bit more attention to it recently, and just like noticing how much those drivers fight the mess out of those cars for 3 hours.
I think it's
straight.
impressive, but I don't know that it's a sport. You know
I'd
what I mean?
consider it a sport.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Motorsport.
Motorsport.
Yeah.
I think
Running.
anything.
Well, I hope so
that you
because
can
my
do,
my answer is a motorsport. So
I think anything that you can drink and smoke during is not a sport. That's why I rule out golf and bowling.
all right, I guess.
Yeah.
What about that one guy who
Is
faced
beer
the-
pong a sport? What's the difference between beer pong and bowling? You know what I mean?
Well, I would consider it a sport. It's just
Beer pong?
Bowling is
Sure, like it's
Is
just
cornhole a sport?
It's just yeah.
You're just saying yes to everything.
Well, I mean, you know, like you throw it on ESPN, the Ocho, you know.
Actually, I've no joke. I've seen, especially sitting at work.
cornhole
like,
is impressive, but I don't
like-
think it's a sport.
dude. It's on ESPN.
That doesn't make it a sport. So is the Nathan's hot
It's
dog
all-
eating contest.
Maybe a sport. I would, dude. I love the hot dog yet.
Alrighty. So what?
What is it?
Well,
ahead,
for
Hayden.
me, I don't really know my answer. I was
Okay.
gonna say the NHRA,
either.
the drag racing.
Is that not different from NASCAR?
No.
I mean, I know it's not the same as NASCAR, but
Well,
like,
I mean, I only said not NASCAR because NASCAR's huge. You know what I'm saying?
oh, okay.
So like this is drag where you just go straight down.
I kind of feel like
NHRA.
NASCAR to NHRA is like the German soccer league and the Spanish soccer league.
No, that's more. I would say that's more like gosh, what's the European racing in circles?
IndyCar.
Indy. That would be more
Okay, I'm with you.
because this is just
IndyCar's-
you're going straight down the track, going as
IndyCar's
fast as you
American.
can.
I thought.
It-
Formula One is.
Formula
Oh,
One, that's what
Formula
I'm talking
One.
about. What's
Yeah,
Indy?
yeah.
Indy 500 is. What are we talking about at this point?
I don't know really
know.
that much about racing.
Formula One and NASCAR is more akin to what you were talking about.
Okay, I'm with you.
NHRA is it's got a special place in my heart because of like what they did with my parents and dad, and like my dad was like on the trailer and they like sponsored him, and
His
a bunch of
face
other
was on the
stuff.
trailer, right?
Yeah. Well,
He
my
didn't
dad
ride
sponsored
in the
them.
trailer.
That'd be cool.
No, he didn't. But it's I love it, one because of the community, you know. It's one of those like you it's an event where you go the whole day and there's like 100 races, and you don't watch them all. You walk around and interact with people.
It's like a fair with drag racing.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like that sounds awesome.
It's really cool, and like it's just a bunch of rednecks going in there, and like I sold coins there, these challenge coins. You'd sell them for $100. He'd take them down the track, and if he broke a record, people would want that coin. And it was all for charity, so like it would go $100 would go towards charity. So I ran that a few times, and the people they just wanted someone to talk to. They just walk up to you and they just tell you your life story, and you're like, I didn't ask, but you want to buy a coin? And it's awesome. And then like you would go all throughout the country because they're touring, and then some of the same people, you'd see them over and over. That, and if you ever been to one of these things, you can go in the stands and it's all loud and awesome and cool, but I've got to go down on the track, and this is why I love it so much, because it's just loud.
Yeah.
Engine everywhere, and you gotta
So many different
earplugs.
smells.
Yeah, literally, like if you get
Beer.
in the wrong spot,
Beer, urine, tires, gasoline.
if you get in the
probably
wrong
some
spot,
diesel.
you'll get a face full of nitro.
Oh.
And if you have sinuses, it's great. Otherwise, you're like, and it's horrible, but it's awesome. And like at the end of the day, you go home, there's just black tire rubber all over your face. And but it's like that scene from Talladega Nights where she's like, I just love it when those cars go by. And that's what it's like being down there. You're like, yeah.
Have you ever, side note, have you ever
That
been
was
to Bristol?
descriptive.
Have you ever been
I
to,
haven't, but I've always wanted to.
I went to a Bristol night race one time, which
I've
is
never
like,
been to a NASCAR.
I think that's
Bristol
the only
race.
time there was it.
no, they were racing the day.
Oh.
But
Long enough
at
where it's
one
both.
point, the Bristol night race was like one of the hardest tickets in sports to get. And my sister went to King now it's King University. It was King College when she went there, but they like worked it, and she was like, "Hey, if you come and work it with me, you can watch the race." And
Bristol's better when the Vols play there. Fight me.
oh no, I completely agree. I would much rather watch football than NASCAR. But it's just crazy. Like when it's like, did you ever ride that ride at the fair where it spins so fast, the Gravitron?
Yeah.
It's almost like that, where like you feel pinned to your seat and it's so loud, and it's like so much to take in. It's wild.
Yeah.
Braden, favorite sport that is non-major?
Honestly, and there's two categories of this. There's a pro and a college, and I don't like the pro. I think it's weird and it's stupid, but I think college lacrosse.
I knew you were gonna say that. I don't know why.
I don't know. It's just interesting to me.
You kind of come off as lax, bro.
Dude, so like I feel, I don't know. I just I don't know. I guess it's so much like the other sports, but it's not so far off. I don't know. I don't know.
Mine for me is track and field, and it's just the majority of that just comes because I ran track and cross country. But there's like, you ever go to sporting events that maybe like you participated in when you were younger and you like get the butterflies and stuff? Every time I go to a cross country meet or a track meet, I like get those butterflies, and it even like makes me miss it.
Yeah.
Which like when I was in it, I was like, this is so hard.
Yeah.
But
I think that's everybody about the sport that they use. Because every time I go to a baseball game, I'm like, God.
Yeah, and I like, people were like, did you like running? And I'm like, well, I didn't love training, but like race day was it.
Yeah, I ran cross country in high school too, and running sucks. I hated it. I didn't want anything to do with it.
But race day,
the reason I did it was because going to the meets, not so much even the actual running part of it, but like everything leading up to it, everything kind of afterwards.
You're on a team.
And it's so cool because there could be as many as like 500 people in your race, and it's you versus the guy next to you. We're on the same course.
Yeah.
But like, and there's so much stuff in football, you get one opponent a week. Yeah. But in cross country, you have 499 opponents, and you're on a team, but you're also racing your teammate. And I don't know, there's cross country and track are very, very different, obviously. But like cross country, it's, one event, and track, you could be running 3 events on a given day. Yeah. So track is, to me,
I hated track. I didn't do it.
I like track more because when I was in high school,
it's more wow.
Yeah, track is much sexier than cross country. Cross country, you could go to a meet, watch them run 3.1 miles, and see the person you're cheering for twice. But track, to me, like when I was in high school and even in college, I wasn't like I tell people this sometimes, and it's kind of weird, but also it makes a lot of sense in my head. But I wish I could run competitively in the mental state that I'm in now, because I'm so much like tougher, just like mentally. And I'm like, dang.
I think about that all the time with baseball.
Yeah,
like,
I wish I could have.
I just like had the like the awareness, and like the mental, like I want to do this. Back like that I have now. Back then, I'm like, I freaking could have went pro.
I don't think like I was never good enough to like run at the like national championships or anything like that, but I could have. I'm like, dang, if I had the mental fortitude that I had I have now, like
I get that.
I can know that because I think about that with soccer all the time. I was not confident like in my knowledge and like, am I playing right? I actually don't know, but like looking back, I'm like, just go out there and play, like and you do your thing.
I think about it, and it's weird that you say like, it's kind of weird to tell people this, because I literally was driving on the road the other day, and I just that thought kind of popped in my head, and I was like, man, like it would be so cool to like, obviously I don't want to do over anything, like but like it's just thinking in my head, I'm just like, man, it would be so cool if you could just like kind of hit pause and go back to like a younger self with the same like everything, like you're like, I'm 26 mentally, but I'm like back in like a freshman in high school, and I'm like, dude, I'm about to literally just like train and train and train.
It
and,
makes
like,
sense
just
to
continue
me.
to do it. You know,
It makes sense to me how
there's a puppy.
it's a good boy.
Hey Jay.
It makes sense to me how professional athletes hit their peak from like, 24 to 30 because they're in their best physical condition they possibly can be in.
Mm-hmm.
But they also like have been through some stuff mentally, and now they are aware enough that they can they're aware enough that they can, like they've overcome some stuff. Yeah, that is interesting. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that feels like that.
No, it's definitely like a thought. I'm like, man, that'd be super cool because like in my mind, I'm like, man, if I had that capacity and I just went into like really everything that you thought was important, like in high school, really isn't.
Yeah.
But like if I like sat there and just motivated myself and trained like sports wise and all this stuff and woke up every day and just did my best every day, like wonder where I could be right. Like wonder what would happen with that kind of motivation.
Yeah, I know you hate this baseball player, but I listened to the Bryce Harper podcast, and it was actually
I don't hate him, but I hate him because
okay. Then you need to listen to the podcast.
But I like him
about,
as a person.
Okay,
kind of like same thing as Nick Saban. I hate him because
he's
Alabama,
good,
but I just love Nick Saban as a person.
Okay, so Bryce Harper was on the Starting Nine podcast, and he talks about just some of the games he talks about. He like him having is unreal. He said that they can't remember when it was in his life, but at one point, they were playing like little league tournament when he was younger, and in the tournament he went 12 for 12 with 6 home runs and 12 walks. So he actually had like 24 plate appearances. He went 12 for 12 with 6 home runs. The dude was just like some of the stuff he says. I
can't even.
That's crazy. But he played 3 or 4 sports in high school, and so like he was really confident because he was doing all this other stuff and succeeding really well. But last thing I want to talk about, me and my brother have always had this debate. Every time we watch the Olympics, we get drawn to this one sport, and it's handball. And every time we watch it, we're like, there's no U.S. team, so we research it.
There's no U.S. team.
U.S. doesn't have a team. And I'm thinking,
You want to start a team with us 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, we're the ultimate like specimen of athlete team.
Yeah.
And so I was looking into it, and me and my brother are talking like, we feel like soccer isn't that prevalent in the U.S. because the U.S. focuses so heavily on hand-eye coordination. So that's why the major athletes play baseball and basketball and football.
Right.
But we were saying, surely right now between me and my brother, we could put together a handball team. I actually read something that Jay Cutler is actually training to be on the U.S. handball team.
Okay, so my thing is, before we name these, is it absolutely real athletes, or can I go fictional athletes as well?
No. It has to be real live athletes that you can put on the team.
Name your one fictional you're thinking.
Do not say the guy from Dodgeball.
No.
Okay.
Peter LaFleur.
Dude, you know what's really funny? You guys are going to laugh so hard at this.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Dude, freaking Bill freaking Murray from
Space Jam?
Space Jam, dude.
Wouldn't you rather have,
Michael
Jordan or something?
No, dude, Bill Murray was that team.
He was the heart. They weren't winning until he came in.
No, but I was really thinking about like the tricksterness of freaking Bugs Bunny.
All right,
makes sense.
That's what I was actually.
He also has cartoon magic, so he could pull his.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so handball is 6 players plus a goalie.
Yep. I got my players. So
okay, so 6 players plus a goalie. My list is like high level athletes that I am like their skills would translate to the limited amount of handball I have seen.
Yeah.
So Hayden, go ahead and give me your 6 plus a goalie.
So I watched a little bit of it before the podcast. And so to me it looked like basketball with a smaller ball and a goal.
Yeah.
But so my first thing said, Hayden pick some basketball players, probably translate well. And then I was like, wait, I think that first of all, you don't know any basketball players, so you're gonna have a rough time coming up with 6. I could probably come up with 911.
Gosh,
Stop calling.
911.
I'm just so excited.
you just called 911. on the
Almost did.
podcast.
But then I was like, a basketball player, I feel like they don't have any interest in playing defense. So
Some of them
do, but I feel like the best ones don't. I could just be making that all up because I don't know nothing about basketball.
I think sometimes, real quick caveat, I
Yeah.
think sometimes they're so good at offense, it makes people look like they don't care about defense.
Yeah. So
If that makes sense.
I went with one basketball player on the team. Just one.
Who is it?
LeBron James.
I have him too.
Because he's big and he's an athletic freak.
That's gonna be
the
number
most
one on everybody.
the craziest physical specimen ever created.
He could play
Thanks, God.
any sport. Like, he could play in the NFL.
Well, he was
could
an
have played-
All-American wide receiver in high school.
So I have him. He was the first one on my list. And then I'll just kind of go through the other ones. Russell Wilson, because he's, could have played baseball. He's just a great athlete.
Yeah.
And then I put Jarvis Landry because he always does well in the dodgeball at at the Pro Bowl. I put Kyler Murray because he's basically Russell Wilson.
We're agreeing on something.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I put Christian McCaffrey
Okay.
because I wanted a white guy.
I have 0 white guys.
All of them were black except for Christian McCaffrey, and I feel like some of the stuff would translate well, except for the keepers. Jalen Ramsey, because I needed a defender, and I feel like he would be a decent, maybe ball hawk, whatever. I don't know.
Safety kind of guy.
Yeah. And then for keeper, I put a hockey keeper in there. So first of all, I don't think he would qualify for the U.S. team. Now that I think about it, but I put UC Saros because he's the only goalie I know that's not Pecorine, and Pecorine's been doing bad this year. So.
Fleury
is he American?
I doubt it. I don't know that many hockey players that
just
aren't
the
pretty
best
sure
American hockey keeper.
Okay.
So there you go.
No, PK Subban's brother is probably also Canadian.
He's probably Canadian. Yeah.
Darn it.
I would guess.
Darn it.
All right, Braden,
Okay.
give us your 6
So
and your
mine's
goalie.
gonna be off the head off the top because I didn't have enough time to come up with my.
No,
6.
you did. You just didn't respond to us. It's fine.
No, I was doing things.
He was a busy boy.
I was
Come on,
working.
he's a busy boy.
Okay. So I'm gonna
text me.
LeBron James,
LeJean
Brains, Christian Coleman, U.S. track team.
Okay.
University of Tennessee grad, super quick. Runs with Usain Bolt.
Okay.
I feel like once he gets the ball in his hands, he can just run faster than everybody else.
Court's not that big though.
I was gonna say I don't know how
But-
much running
but-
you do.
He's a sprinter,
Are you allowed to like move with the ball?
I think you have like 3 seconds. You can hold the ball.
All right.
which you don't even have to have the ball. He can carry pick.
Just run past everybody. I'm with you. Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Exactly. So that's 2. I'm gonna go ahead and goalie because I'm thinking about it right now. The girl, Hope Solo. He was a baller for the U.S.
She also beat the mess.
I was gonna say don't say anything controversial. Hey, don't say anything
did.
controversial.
She did though. She was good. Okay, so that's 3. So what? I
She's
need 2
aggressive, we'll say that.
Johnny. So wait, is it 6 plus a goalie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need 7 total.
So I need 4 more. Shoot. All right, I'm gonna go with the baseball player then. I'm gonna say
Bryce Harper.
I would probably say Bryce Harper because he has a freaking cannon.
Yeah.
Him or Puig? Because Puig has a cannon.
He's Cuban.
Oh yeah, I can't do that. I keep forgetting.
Rough,
about the
man.
US. Yeah. So Bryce Harper. Let's see.
I almost put I almost put Javier Baez, but then I was like, he's not from America.
I'm gonna go with Drew Brees.
Okay.
All right,
He's got a cannon.
he's got to be the captain. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
He's
mean?
that like.
He's
He's
the
that
leadership.
center, just like.
Yeah.
Then him and LeBron will have a power struggle. I like
Yeah.
it.
Oh, man,
Oh yeah. Well, see, no, because it's like. Okay.
Okay, good call.
Yeah.
2 more. I need 2
Sure.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, these last 2 are gonna be tough. Let's
Peter
see.
LaFleur.
Huh?
Peter LaFleur.
No. I think yeah, no. I don't know. I was gonna
Come on, you gotta have 2.
Dude, I don't freaking know. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I'm gonna stick with football. Probably Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
He's a runner, can throw. Defensive guy.
Aaron Donald.
You just smashed the people.
Let's go with
Earl Thomas.
no, let's go with the big guy. I'm gonna say
Earl Thomas.
I'm gonna go with either
Hard.
let's go with TJ Watt.
I've considered TJ.
Yeah, because he's
I considered it. I actually considered
some
him.
edge guys are so quick too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I consider one of the Boses too.
Because they run mid 4.5.
yeah. All right, here's mine.
Big hands to get on that ball and throw.
Here's mine. This is the one person I can't believe y'all didn't say. Pat Mahomes.
He was an alternate. I literally, he would be, but I didn't put him just because I don't know how mobile he's mobile, but I don't know.
I mean, he diced up the Titans defense in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, that was different though, man.
Okay, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray.
Okay. Bunch of young QBs out there.
Pat Mahomes and Kyler Murray, because they just have like rockets. I mean, Kyler Murray not as much, but Kyler Murray is also way faster than Pat Mahomes. LeBron James, because he's 6'8", like 280.
Yeah,
we
all know.
Pretty easy.
LeBron James on the team.
Kawhi Leonard.
All right, see, I feel like I could have come up with that had I like thought about basketball players.
Kawhi Leonard, because he's just great all around player. He's also probably the best defender in the league.
Okay.
So I got some defense in there. One.
He's on
Russell Westbrook. He's like one of the twitchiest athletes I've ever seen in my life. Just super quick. Can jump out of the gym. I don't know how much jumping is involved in handball, but it seems like a useful tool to be able to jump well.
LeBron would headbutt.
Oh yeah, My goalie, Anthony Davis, the brow. He's just super long.
Yeah.
The goal is like he can put his arms out and
just wave them real fast and they'll never get in.
I feel like the longer the person, the better off.
See, I don't know. So this isn't like
I thought about Tim Howard, but he's old.
Thinking about what you said as far as NBA, like they don't play defense, and I feel like he would just be
Anthony
too lazy
Davis
to
was
be
Defensive Player of the Year.
If that was his job to play defense, he would do it.
But in a league that doesn't play defense, that's probably not the best defensive guy you can come up with.
But that's his job. I feel like he would specialize in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There are guys in the NBA who are elite defenders because that's all they do. Rudy Gobert, elite defender. That's all he does.
I can't comment.
Patrick Beverly.
All right.
That's all he does.
Here's how we finish this is who's the coach?
Ooh.
Yeah. Who's your coach?
So he's got to be American, obviously.
Yes.
Nick Saban.
Okay, so you get...
Actually, the coach doesn't have to be American.
I'm going to make a rule.
Okay.
You get a head coach, offense coordinator, defense coordinator.
Shoot, dog. I don't know. I said for my coach, I think John Harbaugh would be pretty good.
Who do I want to go with for
John
coaches?
Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like he could...
I'm going
would, come up with this, like what he did with Lamar Jackson. He kind of does that with the handball team.
I'm going with
triple option.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Sabinator for my head coach. I just feel like he gets the most out of everything.
Okay, my head coach. I'm gonna go Phil Jackson.
Who's that?
He's a coach for the Chicago Bulls and Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Ran the triangle offense. I think he'll be able to space the floor well. Offense coordinator, go.
See, I have to keep mine in football because that's all I know.
That's fine.
Andy Reid.
Okay.
Just because, not really, I mean, he's a great offensive-minded coach and all that, but I just think seeing him on the sidelines would be hilarious.
In his Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, so that's why I have him there.
Offense coordinator?
Dabo.
Okay. I like that.
Sweeney.
My offensive coordinator, I will go... Gus Malzahn.
What a quirky pick.
So crazy.
What a quirky pick.
Defensive coordinator.
Yeah, left field. You ready for this one? Well, hold on. I'm picking between two. Go ahead. If you got one, go for it.
I don't have one. Go ahead.
Mike Vrabel.
You see, I was going Vrabel or to get even more left field.
Think about his just intimidation factor.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Well, I was also thinking like something like Wesley Woodyard. Who, like, could suit up if he needed to. You know what I'm saying?
Well, player coach action.
Yeah.
Like
that's why that's like something young. So he's like with these guys.
Ooh.
Even though I'm pretty sure LeBron's probably older than him.
Which this is kind of a stretch. It's still technically a defensive position. He used to, kind of. Good old man David Ross.
Okay, I like that pick.
Oh man,
Cubs manager.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
old man Ross.
Is he Goggles?
Huh?
Is he Goggles? Who's the goggle guy
Who?
for the Cubs? That he wore glasses. I call him Goggles.
They don't
Glasses,
have a
Cubs.
goggles.
No, but
guy.
he's not there anymore. Got fired last year. Who's the coach that got fired?
Oh, Joe Madden.
Joe Madden.
He wears glasses, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I feel all right.
David
about
Ross.
that.
David Ross was their catcher when they won the World's. Well,
One of their catchers.
He was one of their catchers
One
when
of three.
when they won the World Series, and he's a great baseball
Okay,
player.
defensive coordinator Hayden.
It's Wesley Woodyard.
Okay.
I'll stick with Wesley.
Cool. Hey, that was fun.
I can't
It
wait to
was
tell
fun.
you guys about my dream next week.
Yeah, Braden has a reoccurring sports dream.
It's not reoccurring.
So he's gonna tell us.
This one's
No,
not
no.
reoccurring.
He's gonna
It's just
tell
the
us
one that
about
I
it.
had, and it really the ending pissed me off.
Okay.
so
Oh
bad.
no.
Well, I'm gonna give you my reoccurring dream. It's not a sports dream, but it is a reoccurring dream that I've had probably 20
Wait,
times
are we
in my
doing this
life.
now?
No, next week.
I'll come up
A little
with
tease.
I'll come
little
up with the
tease.
dream that
What
I
if I
have.
forget it?
All right.
I dream a lot. So
This
I'll
has
just remember
been
mine.
SummerTree Sports Podcast. Thank y'all for listening. We appreciate it. We love you.
No update. No
God.
update.
Oh,
Every time I try to land the
wait,
ship, Hayden.
wait.
Oh,
where
sorry.
are they in the rankings?
Well, 12.
Recruiting rankings.
All right. Have a nice time.